As I like to say, if that doesn't get you moving, check your pulse. You might be dead. That is so good. That is Faithless. The band is Despyre, and we've got Rob, the vocalist from Despyre, here on the line with us. Rob, how do you say your last name, by the way?
Melvagno. Well, that's the Americanized way. In Italy, the G is silent. Melvagno.
Oh, Melvagno. Okay, all right. Very good, very good. By the way, is it just you, or do you have any of your bandmates with you, or are we just talking to you right now?
No, it's just me right now. They're all listening on the link.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah. Welcome to the show. Like I said, I love that track. And is this so? The name Despyre? Is that a combination of despair and inspire? Is that correct?
Yes, it is. We wanted to take the two emotions of the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs, and kind of put it together and come up with that made up name there. But because everybody goes through that, and that's kind of what leads you to either be successful or, to deal with your problems in life.
Right.
So we wanted to take those two emotions and combine them.
Right. No, that makes sense. And you guys have been together since 2015, is that right?
Yep.
So 11.
Yeah. We've played with each other before this. We've all been very good friends in the music industry, and we've played in formations of other bands, and then we happened to get together and start jamming and writing some music. And one of our earlier songs, which is on our first EP, Black, the song is got in the hands of Joey Z from Life of Agony, who reached out and said, I like this. What are you guys doing? I'd love to record some of your new stuff, and hence that's what led to our first EP, Irritation, which Joey Z from Life of Agony produced, which inevitably got us signed to Pavement Records. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, connecting with Joey Z, that's you guys got off to a great start early on. That's amazing. Life of Agony, of course, such a great band. But that's so cool. I mean, you probably learned a lot from him, I would imagine.
Yeah, what was great was, I was a Life of Agony fan, before that, and I learned a lot from him, not only in the studio, but just in general, in life itself. He's a very down-to-earth guy. We became friends, so it was a big eye-opener on how things are done in the industry and how he brought out, certain aspects of the band and recording. We just worked well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now tell us about, so present day Faithless. I know that's the newest, that came out pretty recently, right? The new single, Faithless?
Yeah. So, we aren't with Pavement any longer.
Okay.
Things happened in 2020 with COVID. The band itself went through a lot of changes and unfortunate deaths. Our first drummer passed away, and then family members, mothers, fathers, after COVID. And then I had a health scare. I was diagnosed with cancer, went through my treatments, and in this process, a drummer that was with us, we had about 7 songs that we had written. So Griffin went in the studio, recorded the drums, because we knew that we were going to be coming back out. Mm-hmm. Once I got the clear and okay, we started recording some songs, and it was time to release them. And now we have big news coming up in the upcoming weeks. We have some offers on the table that we will be announcing shortly for these upcoming singles that will be released.
Oh, excellent. As far as the cancer, I mean, you free and clear now? You clear of it?
Yeah, right now I reached 100% remission.
Good.
So things are looking good, and it just made me stronger as a person and to move forward, and do what I love.
Yeah. Oh, that's good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Wow. Yeah. And you guys have been through a lot. I mean, obviously, it's interesting how COVID, even now in 2026, it comes up in a lot of conversations on the show because it just affected so many people. And when your whole thing is, especially if you're playing live music, it really affected
and that's
everything.
Exactly. That's kind of what happened. The momentum of the band was really going well, and the world stopped.
Yeah.
And we're not Metallica, you know what I mean? So it's like starting over again.
Absolutely. Especially where you are too, because you're in New York and man, I mean, New York City really got hit hard. I mean, that was really, for a while, that was kind of the epicenter in the country for COVID-19. It just awful. Are you guys everybody who's in the band now? Are you all from New York?
Yeah, we're all from Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we've been brothers forever. You know, it feels like, you know, it's like having another marriage, but we're all great friends. You know, we're all within, you know, a half hour of each other.
Yeah.
A couple of the guys live very close, and then the rest of us are within 20 minutes of a half hour of each other. And then recently we just announced the newest member, our newest drummer. She is incredible, Bobby Dima.
Okay.
We went through a lot of auditions and drummers, and she just is filling the gap and bringing a whole new energy to the band. So, you know, I just wanted to give a formal welcome to her on the air.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Congratulations to her. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you feel like, I'm curious, being from New York and such a part of the scene there, do you feel like New York has shaped your sound? Because there's such a rich history of heavy music coming out of that area. And we had actually just recently we had Frequency Overload on the show, and, you know, they're from there obviously, and they're amazing. But I mean, do you think, is there, I guess what I'm trying to ask is there a New York sound as far as heavy music, like what you guys are doing? Is there a New York sound, and are you, has it shaped, you know, what you do?
It's a great question, because I actually think there is, you know, and it goes way back to the days of, you know, when the thrash metal and speed metal, when you had like bands like Anthrax, and then the hardcore scene with like Biohazard and Life of Agony, you know, and Sheer Terror and all these bands that came out of the area. And then of course there was the glam movement too, you know, New York Dolls and Kiss. And so I think the East Coast in general, New York area and up towards your area, it's a different, rawer, more in your face, I feel, style of music, you know. So yeah, I do think, even though music has changed tremendously, and the scene itself has changed tremendously, not just here in New York, but throughout the United States. You know, in the old days, there was so many clubs, and everybody came out to see music, and that was the only way, was to go to see bands live. You know, nowadays with social media and YouTube, you don't have to go anywhere. You know, everything's there at the tips of your fingers. But I think that you definitely can tell the sound of our music and where we're from geographically. So I do feel that there is a certain sound that comes out of New York. It's the aggression, it's the in your face. Mm-hmm. You know, and then just the way of living out here, the fast pace and of society in general, and people are so stressed, and it comes out in the music.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your, so for the track Faithless, which again, I love it. It's just so good. Is this part of a larger project now? I mean, do you have, because there's so many different ways to release music now. Is it part of an EP or an album, or are you just releasing singles at this point? What's kind of your plan?
Okay, so you hit it on the head. I mean, like, music has changed. You know, no longer are the days of where I can run to the store and I was waiting for that Iron Maiden record to come out with the album cover, and I wanted to read the liner notes and, you know, immerse myself in it while I was listening to music. So, you know, unfortunately, people's attention span is a lot less nowadays. And they want not so much instant gratification, but they want to hear a song and they want to move on to their next, you know, band and put it in their playlist. So what we plan on doing moving forward right now is we will be releasing singles as they come up, and then as we finish writing them. And then our plan is, once we release these next group of writings that we had, we're going to put together an EP or an album of them, so everybody can get it as like a special order, or through a company or whatever. This way they can have everything encompassed in a CD, vinyl. But the initial release is going to be based on singles. You know, every one of Despyre songs, aside from the first couple albums, each song is different. You know, so if you take a listen to our songs when we write, they all have a different feel, different emotion, or a different story to tell.
Okay.
And I think we did that intentionally. We didn't want to be just, this album sounds like this. I think like the new single that will be dropping beginning of August, end of July, is a total different sound for us. It's still heavy and it's dark, but it's different. It's in a different direction from the rest of the music that we have out.
Okay. Yeah, your trajectory as far as the singles, and then eventually, they coalesce into an EP. That's how a lot of artists seem to be doing it now too. It's kind of the inverse of what it used to be. When I was growing up, it was a band might release a single for an upcoming album. Single goes to radio 6 to 8 weeks before the album comes out. Then the album comes out, and then if everything goes well, there might be a second single, there might be a third single. But now a lot of artists are doing it, the inverse of that, like you described. You release a series of singles that will eventually coalesce into an EP or an album. Just kind of and it makes sense. You got to feed the algorithm, you got to keep people interested, and
exactly.
Yeah,
you have to be relevant. You have to keep it exactly what you said. You have to keep it rolling. A good food of thought is every 5 to 6 weeks, if you can. If you have the music written, try to release something. You got to keep yourself in everybody's face.
Right.
And that's kind of how the music business is now.
Yeah.
It's not a collective work, because an album, people aren't going to listen to it, unfortunately, for, another 2 years. So you got to keep yourself relevant by throwing things out.
Yep, 100%. And what's the live kind of touring situation for you guys? Because obviously you're in an area where there's such a great array of venues you can play. I would imagine, such a vibrant scene there in New York. Are you guys playing out a lot? Are you doing a lot of shows? Are you going on tour? What's been happening there?
Well, we so before all this happened, we were ramping up. We did a tour of Boba Flex, and then we toured Canada and the Northeast with Life of Agony.
Nice.
So we were ramping up, and we were just about ready to do a European leg and get into the festivals, and then, like we were talking before, bam, COVID hit.
Yep.
So our trajectory now is we're building up the fan base. If a good tour came up, obviously it would be on the table, but we are really looking for a lot of fly dates. We're trying to get into the festival scene.
Yep.
We do want to actually come up to your area. We're looking to hit New Hampshire. We are working on dates in New Jersey, Connecticut, North Carolina. We have a show, which is our comeback show, on Long Island, October 16th, here in New York. That's a Friday night. That is our next show that we have on the books.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're looking to be right now. The scene here, and I'm sure it's kind of like that everywhere. Unfortunately, for original music, it's very hard. It's not like it used to be.
Sure.
Every club, every bar wants cover bands and tribute bands. Now, taking nothing away from those bands, the club owners, they don't care anymore, honestly, about promoting original music. It's all about, the money and what they can put in their pockets and how many people you can get through the door. And,
sure.
And it's changed a little. Back in the day, I'm sure you remember in the 80s, people went out to see music they didn't know.
Right.
They wanted to reach out and find new bands and new things that would turn them on, and it's kind of not like that anymore. So you have to, your job as someone in a band is a lot harder now.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective.
Yeah. Well, now you're competing with so much. You're competing with Netflix and YouTube and gaming and all of it. There's so many things now. There's a lot more things that you can do at home now instead of going out that you couldn't do before. So that's always a challenge.
Well, that's like what I said before. People they don't have to go to see a band. The videos are put on YouTube. They could sit in their house, not spend any money, and watch a video of the band live or a live stream, and there it is.
Yeah.
Which to me takes away from the whole purpose of live music. I like the vibe with the audience and the sound of a bass drum just like crushing your ribs, and when you're there, it's like you can't experience that sitting in your living room.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. So October 16th is the next show for you guys, and you've got some other opportunities coming up, it sounds like. So that's great.
Yeah, we're working on a lot of opportunities that will be announced in the upcoming weeks. So we'll be around.
Okay.
We're going to be heading out there, and then especially going into next year in the next festival season, you'll be seeing Despyre a lot more.
Oh, fantastic. In a moment, we'll let you go, and we're going to play, I've got another track here that I'm going to play at the end of our conversation, Blue Sky Reborn. This is really, and this shows a different side of you guys. Great song, but you've also got a guest vocalist on this.
Yeah. So Alicia Rose, I thought that she had the perfect voice. She's a local musician from our area, and she has a great tone to her voice. And the story of Blue Sky, I felt, and the band members in the band, we all discussed this, and we felt that it would fit perfect with what we were looking to do. So the original song, Blue Sky, which is on our EP, it was written based on, unfortunately in my life, I had about 7 times happen to me, I had to deal with suicide. So when the song was written, it was about what the people who are left behind have to deal with and how you need to find ways of moving forward. That's kind of what the song is about. And now it's also taken on, if a loved one has passed, how do I get through this? So we wanted an answer to that. We thought, let's do this acoustic, show a different side of the band, and show someone, which is her part, answering back to you when you're asking them, I'm searching for blue skies, I miss your voice, and now this person is answering you back and kind of saying, look, everything's okay, nothing was your fault, but I'm here for you. So that's kind of what Blue Sky Reborn is about. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great song. And by the way, did you say 7 times you've dealt with people who've committed suicide?
Unfortunately, and they between family members and very close friends. It's something. Depression is real.
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't know it with the people that are going through it. They kind of just do it.
Yeah.
And it catches you by surprise. But there are places out there, people to talk to. And thank God I have music, and that's one way myself and the band members can talk about things, but hopefully it touches something in someone else, and they're able to hear something, and it helps them. That's part of being an artist. You want to help people, but unfortunately, yes, I had to deal with that. I don't want to deal with it anymore, but you got to find a way to continue.
Absolutely, and. No, and I like what you said about depression too. As someone who I myself I'm not suicidal, but I do deal with depression, and it's mental health is it's something that a lot of the stigma is gone. I think a lot of the stigma has faded, but it's still something that we probably don't talk about enough. And
it's people deal with anxiety and depression and the way society is, and the best thing to do is find an outlet. Ending your life is not the answer,
right?
Because life is beautiful. There are things, nature, the materialistic things in the world don't mean anything. Family, health, and being able to just experience what you have and the good things in life. So there's so many ways you can talk your problems out nowadays. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right. Very well said. Rob, before we let you go, and we're going to hit that track, but where's the best place for people to go online to keep up with everything that Despyre is doing?
Despyre.com is our website, but really social media.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, those are the best places. We have a good social media presence. We send out news blasts. We're always posting. So you'll definitely be able to find Despyre. You can Google our name. You'll see all kinds of things about us.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify, all the major digital networks. You can download our music, YouTube. So we're around.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, that's another thing that's really changed, huh? from before, how it used to be social media. It changed everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy. And I'd like to speak to you about it on another day too. We do want to come up to New Hampshire. We actually started looking into it. So maybe we can, sooner than later, get ourselves up there and bring our crazy show. Because a Despyre show is not just 5 guys and, I'll say 4 guys and a young lady up on the stage. We put on an event because we come from the Iron Maiden, To me, when you go see a band live, the music, you want the music to be good, but you want to escape reality.
Exactly.
You want to come see a show.
Exactly.
And that's what we do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. No,
so hopefully we'll be seeing you up in New Hampshire in that New England area real soon.
Oh, I hope so. I would love it. Absolutely. All right, Rob, we'll let you go. We're going to hit that track, Blue Sky Reborn. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being flexible about the WhatsApp and the phone line and everything. We appreciate that as well.
No problem, Matt. And I want to thank you for your time and having Despyre grace your airwaves and to speak with us. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. No, we appreciate you, Rob. All right. Thank you so much, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
We will.
All right.
See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right, that is Rob from the band Despyre. And again, this track shows a different side of the band and their sound, but this is really good. This is Blue Sky Reborn with Alicia Rose is also on the track singing. This is really good. Check this out.